Whoa! 10 zombies have been killed at last?
Hey, Kiyoshi! You should at least clean up your room. Stop watching movies all day long.
Mom, it's the climax of the movie right now, so don't talk to me.
Good evening, Bonbi. I'm a mystery guide. Did you know that more than a few decades before the famous serial killer called Jack the Ripper showed up, there was another Jack who shook people in London?
What? What's that? I've never heard of it.
This was in the late 1830s. Oh, there are a lot of eyewitnesses, but I still can't see who he actually is. My name is Sarah. I'm a reporter. I'm not a regular reporter. I specialize in occult. I love urban legends, UMAs, aliens, and all that stuff more than anything else. Were you put off by my remarks? But it's interesting, isn't it? You know, the occult? Here's an interesting article. It's called Spring-Footed Jack. According to testimonies, he looks like a demon in a silvery, tight-fitting pantsuit and cape. And as his name suggests, he has the ability to jump as if he were wearing a spring. Oh, to begin with, Jack has a connotation of unidentified. Isn't there a Japanese word, nameless gombe? It's kind of like that. Unidentified spring-footed person. That is, spring-footed Jack. Oh, I'm excited. I've got to hold more interviews. I then proceeded to interview more people. A lot of witness information on spring-footed Jack were found somewhere close to Barnes Square in southwest London. He came out of nowhere and startled people. He was moving from one building to another with incredible jumps. Yes, it's something out of a science fiction movie. The thing about spring-footed Jack is that he doesn't kill people or do anything extremely evil. I wish I could see him with my own eyes. One day, when I was interviewing people... What? Were you attacked by spring-footed Jack? Yes, it was very horrible. I met someone I never thought I'd meet. I need to ask this girl for more information. If you don't mind, can you tell me what happened as much as you can? I'd like to know more about spring-footed Jack. Yes, as long as my experience helps. Her name was Polly. Polly shuddered a bit as she told me what happened at the time. It happened a few months ago. I'm from this area and I've lived in this city all my life. So I know something like which road I should take for a shortcut. That evening, I was about to go to the Fall Harvest Festival, but I was going to be late for the appointment. I was in a hurry, so I headed for a deserted mountain road that would save me time. It's really deserted. That's when it all happened. Ah! I thought a devil had appeared. The bright red eyes, unlike humans, the horns on his head, the high pointed nose, everything was not normal. And then he came up to me with a leap which was beyond human capacity.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
I'm on my way to the Harvest Festival.
Well. I'm glad you're having fun.
Yikes! Spring-footed Jack suddenly sprayed flames right at my face. Fortunately, my face didn't burn. I remember a strong sulfur smell. While I was so overwhelmed by that fire and couldn't move, I had my clothes ripped off. No! The spring-footed Jack let out a creepy laugh, and he hopped and left. This is what I experienced. I was not hurt after all, but I was terrified at the time. I thought I would be killed. I see. He doesn't seem to do anything to endanger people's lives, as I heard on rumors. But spraying fire at people's faces and tearing their clothes off are a pretty nasty prank. Everyone around here is afraid of spring-footed Jack. You never know when he'll show up. He is indeed intimidating. I only knew how he looked, so what you told me was very helpful. That's good to hear. There are couples who have also been attacked. Their husbands were beaten and injured. Also, this is a really disgusting story. A woman my age was targeted by spring-footed Jack, and she was assaulted.
What? Really?
Spring-footed Jack. I thought he was just playing a prank on people, but he's done something even more despicable. If we leave him alone like this, I think he's going to start committing murders. I'm really concerned about that. I took Polly home, looking anxious, and left the place behind. It's true that if this continues, he might do something more extreme. I mean, there's been a lot of victims and eyewitness information. It's about time for the police to start working. My prediction was correct. The police have made a big push to catch spring-footed Jack, and they've even put a bounty on him. As I heard this, I'd catch him. Although there were some young and strong men who were eager to catch spring-footed Jack, but he was never caught at all. On the contrary, as if to ridicule such a move, more harm was done by spring-footed Jack. There was nothing that could stop him after all. This is so interesting. This is not the right time to say such a thing. I need to write an article about the danger right away. While I was putting the article together, I got reports of spring-footed Jack sightings from time to time. And when it came to the point when I was ready to publish the article the very next day... What? Spring-footed Jack sightings in Liverpool? Jumping between tall buildings. If several people witnessed that at the time, it must be right. Okay, thanks. I would add that information to the book that summarized the spring-footed Jack. I wrote it as a precaution, so I gave it away for free this time. Honestly, it was painful money-wise, but I had no choice but to keep it from having more victims. Spring-footed Jack seems to be primarily targeting young women. Hopefully, this book will reduce the number of people walking out alone. However, spring-footed Jack has not been seen at all since then. The bounty was dropped too. The spring-footed Jack who had caused so much trouble was almost forgotten. Some people thought he was a boisterous criminal. Others would say he was a character that a magician played to show off his powers. Or he might have been a kangaroo. I mean, it's true that kangaroos have amazing jumping power, but they can't blow fire. That's what I thought. Well, it's great that no harm is done from spring-footed Jack now that he's gone, but this is not a very neat ending. What was all that about? I mean, he might have been a demon. Huh? No way. I wonder if he was just a thrill killer. Oh my god, you're...
Guess who I am?
Yikes!
That spring-footed Jack the guy told me about was really scary. I wonder what the hell he's after. I thought I saw something outside the window. Is it my imagination?
Now, next I'd introduce you to a scary story shared by the audience. Types of ghost. My name is Asu. I'd like to tell you a scary story I experienced when I was in the 3rd grade. Strange things were happening at home at the time. The lights in the room suddenly went out, and some things that were standing up fell over. Strange things kept happening. Well, let's not worry about it. I wasn't particularly scared, so I didn't think too much about it. But then one day, in the middle of the night... What? Suddenly, I woke up, but my body wouldn't move at all. Seriously, this is what you call sleep paralysis. After a while, I could slowly move my body, and I managed to press the electric remote controller that I had placed under my pillow. Boom! At that moment, I was completely released from the sleep paralysis. Oh, I got upset. I never thought I'd have sleep paralysis. What? It's 3:11? It's the middle of the night. Oh, I'm still sleepy. I just went to sleep. The next night... Another sleep paralysis? But just like yesterday, when I turned on the lights, I got out of sleep paralysis. I picked up the phone and... What? 3:11 again? Is this a coincidence? The sleep paralysis lasted for a week, and the clock always pointed at 3:11. I'm sure something's wrong. I'll ask her. She is a friend of mine who has a strong psychic sense. My friend's family members are all sensitive to spiritual things. My friend seems to be the most sensitive person, allowing her to see things especially well.
Can I go see Asu-chan's room once more?
Of course. I took my friend to my room. And the moment we walked in the room...
Oh, there you are. It's a boy about the age of kindergarten student.
Oh, seriously?
But don't worry, he's not a bad boy. He's just lonely. He's just playing a prank on you because he wants attention from you. If you deal with him, he'll ask for more, so you'd better ignore him.
Wow, okay. But why did he come to my room?
Asu-chan, do you often talk to yourself in your room?
Yeah, I do a lot. I can't help but talk to myself when I'm watching comics or videos.
That's why. I guess the boy misunderstood that you were talking to him.
I see. I lured him in. Thanks for your help. But psychic phenomena like sleep paralysis, lights going out, posters that were securely attached coming off, and boxes of tissue falling off on their own, they lasted about 3 weeks. Ignore it. I have to ignore it. And then what happened? The boy gave up, and the strange phenomena completely disappeared. Well, it's settled. Oops, this is not good. If I keep talking to myself, I'll attract the spirit again. I've had my days of peace and quiet again. But this is where it gets tricky. A few weeks later, it seemed that my father had brought back an evil spirit. He passed by the grave, he crossed the suicide scene, etc. It was such a common reason. Then, even my father started to experience sleep paralysis. Ugh. Oh, it's so heavy. Did the boy come back? No, it's not him. I could tell right away that it wasn't a boy, because I could picture a woman in my head glaring at me with resentment.
Scary, scary, scary.
It's a fear I never felt with that boy. I don't know, I'm really scared. I feel it so strong. The next day, I went back to talk to my friend.
That's a dangerous spirit, so you should be careful. If you don't exercise it properly, bad things might happen. It's totally different from that boy.
She said it very seriously. I immediately asked my parents to perform an exorcism. The spirit was gone within 3 days. Bad spirits and the other spirits? I was very surprised how different the fear I felt was. I wasn't afraid of the boy spirit at all. Wake me up at 7 a.m. I was thinking happy-go-lucky kind of thing. I was tied up in sleep paralysis. I named him Genzaburo and adored him. Now I'm not in a sleep paralysis at all, and I'm living an ordinary life. Here's my advice to you. If something does happen in your house, and if you're afraid, then you need to talk to the right person. Strangely enough, if it's a harmless spirit, you won't feel fear. If you think you're scared, it's probably because of the strong resentment of the spirit. If left unchecked, it could lead to a terrible thing.
I have no spiritual power, but it's important to use that kind of sixth sense to make judgments.
No spiritual power. You're already a ghost, though.
Asushiro-san, thank you for providing us with a valuable experience. I hope you'll join the Kuroneko family by subscribing to the channel and pressing good. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!